Dolan, he said warmly. "Ah, Mr. Catterman. You know Mrs. Lodge." Catterman immediately switched his attention to the elderly woman, took her hand, and closed his other over it. "Mrs. Lodge." He said nothing else. His touch said everything, conveyed such intimacy, such charm in one so young. She felt their common grief. It bound them together. Lionel Catterman knew how to connect with people, knew what they wanted to hear, sensed it in people. That's why juries loved him. He reached down and picked up the child, lifting her above his head and then into his arms in a great display of affection. "And you must be Lara. Do you remember me? You've grown so much since I last saw you. And how pretty you are," he said in a voice of mock surprise, reserved only for children. Lara hated being picked up, being spoken to by all these strangers. Why couldn't she just go home? Or better still, to heaven? Why had she been left behind? It wasn't fair. "Your father and I were best friends, you know," Lionel Catterman went on. He needed some kind of recognition, approval, even from a 5-year-old child. An understanding that he too had lost. "We shared a room in Chambers. Do you know what that is, Lara?" Unmoved by his conversation, she tried to wriggle free. Feeling a little embarrassed, he placed her gently back onto the stone floor. She tried to get round him, to run inside, but Catterman didn't accept defeat that easily. He stopped her gently with an outstretched arm. "Lara, don't be afraid," he said, bending right down just as Father Dolan had done only moments ago. "Your daddy was very dear to me." His voice cracked. "And your mummy." He gave her his warmest smile. She broke free and disappeared through the door. The pews were full. Michael Panassai had been a popular man. The last few people to arrive were dropping petals into the open coffin. Everyone was dressed smartly. The men, all in tailored suits, whispered to each other in well-educated voices. They had the demeanour of the confident and successful, mostly barristers and judges. Lara and her grandmother took their places in the first pew, near the casket. A small middle-aged man shuffled past them, catching Lara's eye. Although suitably attired, he seemed out of place. It was his posture, hunched, more humble than the other mourners. One of those people who could pass unnoticed in a crowd. Only Lara was aware of him. He smiled at her. He wasn't like the others. His smile hid nothing, asked for nothing. She found herself smiling back, wondering who he was. Was he real? A ghost? Or maybe an angel? Her eyes followed him as he took a handful of petals from a basket and moved towards the coffin. Lifting a hand above it, his sleeve revealed a gold bracelet, obviously polished, deeply treasured. To Lara, it shone like the sun. A tiny charm hung from it, a thimble. As he looked into the coffin, the serenity of his expression altered. Something about the deceased had confused him. Something that didn't make sense. He reached in to touch it. The material felt all wrong. And the fit? Whose jacket had he been dressed in? It certainly wasn't Michael Panassai's. Suddenly he looked up, a commotion at the entrance. "Get him out of here!" someone shouted. Then another. The shouts were not directed at Lara's angel, but to someone who had just walked in. Someone well known to all the lawyers. Legal reporter Jim Smith. Several men scrambled into the aisle and blocked his path.